because of the possibility that artificial intelligence will create such monsters that will kill their own creators.
The leading experts have signed an open letter calling for an immediate halt to the development of artificial intelligence as well as stricter regulation, due to their concerns that the technology may offer profound risks to society and humanity.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes.
What if we became less intelligent than AI? We should expect to be wiped out if we become a less intelligent species. Species have been exterminated by more intelligent species many times before. Of all the species on Earth, we humans have already killed out a sizable portion of them. As a less significant species, which is what we're going to become given the rate at which artificial intelligence is developing, that is what you should anticipate happening. The problematic part is that the species that'll go extinct frequently has no understanding why or how. Consider the West African black rhinoceros, a recent species that mankind nearly wiped out. What would they think if you'd ask them, what's the scenario in which humans are going to drive your species extinct? Even though this was rejected in medical literature, they would never have predicted that some people believed their sex life would improve if they ate ground up rhino horn. Therefore, any scenario must be accompanied by the warning that it is highly likely that all the possible outcomes will turn out differently. But we do have some hints. For instance, we have frequently exterminated species only for the sake of obtaining resources. We destroyed rainforests to obtain palm oil. Our objectives did not coincide with those of the other species. But because we're smarter than they weren't able to stop us. That might readily occur to us. It makes sense that machines in charge of the globe would want to use our land for computation if they're interested in doing a lot of calculation and expanding their computing infrastructure. If we argue with them too much, we end up angering and annoying them. Has AI damaged the world enough already? The damage that AI has already done is a catastrophe in and of itself. The worst case scenario is that we don't succeed in upending the current system, in which extremely strong corporations create and use AI in secretive and covert ways. We must act quickly to comprehend, stop, and reverse current damages as AI gets more powerful and speculative anxieties about distant existential hazards gain widespread attention. Strong algorithmic technology is being utilized to mediate our connections with one another and with our institutions, which causes these evils to occur every day. As an illustration, consider how some governments are using algorithms to detect fraud in the distribution of social benefits. This frequently amounts to a suspicion machine, whereby governments commit grave errors that are difficult for the public to comprehend or contest. Biases typically directed at the poor or the marginalized are present throughout the process, including in the training data and the model's application, leading to biased results. These kinds of biases already exist in AI systems, functioning covertly and on even larger scales, wrongfully charging individuals of crimes, evaluating whether they are eligible for public housing, and automating the screening of CVs and job interviews. These harms pose existential dangers on a daily basis, and the timely and precise provision of public services is essential for anyone who depends on them. Our ability to live in society with our dignity intact and our rights fully protected and respected is directly impacted by these errors and inaccuracies. We are following historical trends of technological advancement at the expense of weak people when we do not address these disadvantages and speak in generalities about the possible scientific or economic benefits of AI. Why should someone who was wrongfully charged with a felony by a flawed facial recognition system be enthusiastic about the future of AI, so that new offenses against them can be made up swiftly against them? Best case scenario are more challenging to realize when the worst case scenario is already the experienced reality for so many people. In order to better grasp existential risk, we need a more sophisticated perspective that recognizes current harms as a distinct category of catastrophe deserving of immediate action, as well as a direct relationship between current interventions and potential future larger, more involved interventions. Will AI push people away? AI systems would have several levers at their disposal if they decided to drive humans away. The tendency will presumably be for these models to take on progressively more ambiguous roles on our behalf, serving as our representatives in the outside world. The pinnacle of this is what we have dubbed the obsolescence regime. For any work you may need completed, you would prefer to ask an AI system rather than a human because they're less expensive, run more quickly, and may be overall smarter. Humans that don't use AI are inferior in that final battle. If anyone else is trying to utilize AI decision makers, but your company is trying to use solely humans, your business won't be able to compete in the market economy. If the other countries are deploying AI generals and AI strategists while you're still trying to get by with humans, your country won't win a war. If we place that much trust in adults, we might find ourselves in a situation similar to that of today's kids, for whom the world can be either nice or horrible, depending on whether or not adults are looking out for their best interests. In that scenario, it is simpler to imagine that AI systems would have many levers at their disposal if they wanted to work together to eliminate humans from the picture. After all, they control the military, the largest corporations, the police, and the civil entities. Things are moving so quickly, and we have AI systems that are quite powerful. Although we're not yet in this obsolescence regime, we are beginning to see AI systems acting on behalf of people in the real world. On Twitter, a man offered to donate $100 to GPT-4 with the goal of making as much money as possible in the shortest amount of time, without doing anything illegal. Within a day, he asserted that the affiliate marketing website it requested that he build was worth $25,000. Only recently have we begun to notice some of that. Things are changing so quickly, and we have some really potent AI systems. Although we have not yet entered this period of obsolescence, we are starting to observe AI systems operating in place of humans in the real world. What atrocities will be brought on by AI? The simplest scenario to envision is that someone or a group employs AI to cause mayhem. Many scientists believe that it is extremely likely that we'll have machines that are just as clever as, or even smarter than humans in 10 years. It suffices for them to be proficient in areas where they could be dangerous. They don't need to be as excellent as humans at everything. The simplest case is one in which a person or organization merely decides to employ AI for malicious purposes. There are businesses that you can get from online that synthesize biological material or chemicals, which serves as an illustration of what an AI system may accomplish that would murder billions of people. Although we're unable to create something really evil, it is highly likely that in 10 years, we'll be able to create items of this nature. Even the autonomous nature of AI is not necessary in this case. The alternative situation is one in which the AI creates its own objectives. It has taken more than 10 years of investigation to try to figure out how this could happen. It makes sense that even if a person sets goals like, don't harm humans, something could still go wrong. It's unclear, for example, whether they would comprehend that order in the same way that we do. They might interpret it to mean, do not physically harm humans, but there are numerous other ways they may hurt us. There is a natural propensity for some intermediate goals to appear, regardless of the goal you choose. For instance, if you ask an AI system to do something, it must live long enough to complete the task. It now has a natural desire to survive. When we produce a being with survival instinct, it's as though a new species has been established. Once these AI systems develop a survival instinct, they may act in ways that put us at risk. What do you think about AI and how it affects society? Do you believe that AI will destroy all of us? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments section. For more interesting stories, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press that bell icon for notifications. Goodbye!